Okay, another try on video for today is this one, the DEGEN chains sweater. This pattern looks really hard, but I promise you it isn't nearly as hard as you think it is. But first, let me twirl. Okay, let's talk about this sweater. So first, I'll tell you about the materials. So this sort of olivey yarn is from White Barn Farm, and it is their light worsted, and it's a 2-ply. The 2-ply has two colors in it. One of them is, it looks black, but this colorway is called olive navy, so I think it's navy. And the other one is an olivey color. And I bought that at Rhinebeck, so I was really excited to use it for this pattern. And I also think it's pretty easy to dupe out if that is a hard yarn for you to find. I love this company called Plied, and also Spin Cycle has a new base that has this sort of 2-color ply action. The second yarn is this black one, which is Harrisville Designs Highland, and it is also sort of a, I don't know if they call it a DK or a worsted, but it's thick and appropriately similar to the main color. And then the third yarn is by my friends over at Spin Cycle. It is their Dyed in the Wool Sport, and it is one yarn, but as you can see, the yarn magically shifts color as you go. I believe I used 3 skeins of it just to evenly distribute, but I think in actuality, I only needed 2. Definitely check my pattern page for the colors and skeins or yardage needed, because I'm not the best at remembering that on the spot. So check that out, but definitely I feel like the star of this pattern really is the spin cycle that is going throughout the chains. This pattern would be really great in a solid version. I know that it's quite intimidating with the 3 colors, but you would still have a really great effect of the chains in a solid version. So I'd love to challenge y'all to do a solid version, because I do think that it would be beautiful. How is it made? The construction. So this is knit from the bottom up in panels. There are 3 chains on the front, and there are 2 chains on the sleeves, and there are no chains on the back. It's knit from the bottom up, and essentially it's just a rib pattern, and in the case of this one, a rib pattern with vertical stripes that mimic the rib pattern. And then I forget, but I think it might be every 12, maybe every 18 rows, this magical twist row happens. But again, it's very, you're really sort of spacing out the twist rows. Obviously, they happen often enough throughout the pattern to really create the chains look, but it is just one row where that twisting happens. And basically the way it happens is you're knitting along, it's a knit, purl, rib pattern that are the width of the chain stems. And then on the twist row, you just knit extra rows onto the legs of the chains, and then you tie them. And so it basically switches the places of those 2 chain stems. And all that really does is, like, again, you're then sort of continuing the columns, but it creates this really magical illusion of the chains. I guess it's not an illusion because you are sort of tying it, but really cool and also not hard, especially if you're doing a solid version. The challenge of this guy is 100% just managing a lot of intarsia bobbins, but it's not hard in terms of the actual twisting. In fact, I would say it's like an intermediate beginner pattern if you do it solid. And if you do it not solid, like I have, maybe it's advanced, but only because the intarsia. In terms of the fit, it is a great gender-free fit. It has a tapered sleeve, it has a boxy body, it has a drop shoulder. I love this type of fit. I guess the one sort of more femme detail is this mock neck, which you could not have. You could decide to do a folded rib instead, which would be beautiful. I've done this mock neck. I think it really highlights the great chain. And it comes, as most of my patterns do, in size extra small to triple XL. As usual, if you need me to grade it smaller or larger to fit your body, I am happy to do that because I really want everyone to be able to knit my patterns. And those are really the details. I'm really proud of this sweater. I might wear it as my Rhinebeck sweater for 2023. And I just feel like the yarn really glows with the combination of the two-tone yarn and that beautiful spin cycle. I'm going to end this video by doing what I call a zoom in, but really it just means I'm getting close to the camera to show you the chains. So I hope you'll consider knitting my chains pattern. It's a really fun and would be pretty quick knit, again, in solid. And now we'll do our zoom in. I'm gonna block my face so it focuses on the chains. Look at those chains. Check out that chain. I know I'm dabbing right now and that's fine, but really I just want to show you the chains. I forgot to tell you about this seaming, but that's really irrelevant because all you really care about is those gorgeous chains. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I hope you'll consider knitting.